Will wood chips work on raised beds?
They work on everything. The problem with raised beds, because they're above grade, they're going to dry out a lot quicker, so you have to water more. But all these potted plants in the house, they're all in wood chips. Everything that I have growing is in wood chips at all levels. It's just that I have to water these more because they're in containers, in the air, exposed to air, so they require more water.
Okay. I remember you telling me that I should put wood chips on my containers, because when I first started, I had a container garden. You're like, go home, put them on there right now.
Yeah.
So I did, and they were great. I mean,
it
was
helps,
wonderful.
but just, again, raised beds, because they're above grade and get more air exposure, are going to dry out quicker.
Right. And with most containers, they're usually black, so when the sun hits them, it'll, yeah. Oh, and this is one I've never had an issue with, but I've actually had a few people say this is a thing for them. Since they put the wood chips down, they get a lot more garter snakes.
Which is an encouraging thing, because see, garden snakes are going after worms, insects, and bugs. And so you're creating a living environment. See, nothing in nature goes to dead places. You don't have garden snakes on concrete. So when nature gets right, all of nature shows up. Well, this is a safe place to live. So all these things are encouraging, evidence is like, man, I'm doing things right here.
Now, outside, I think I saw a couple mole traps.
Yeah.
Do you have a problem with mice at all?
Everything lives here, mice, moles, everything, because it's a natural environment.
But it's not a problem.
No. My cats deal with most of it, I'm going to have to start cutting back on their diets, because the moles are starting to develop now, so if I don't feed them as much, they are better hunters. They want to eat, so if I'm not getting food, they'll get it somewhere else. It's just simple math there.
I remember one time you telling me that you planted rice. How did that work out?
I never did.
You never did plant it?
I was hoping to, but it just, for whatever reasons, busyness or whatever, decided. But this next year I'm going to make a point right out there in front of my blueberries. I'm going to plant rice.
Okay, because people ask me about it all the time, and it's always, wow.
It's going to totally grow great, and I know it, just can't help it.
Okay. How many acres with this place and the other property do you have just total, and then how much of that do you have planted?
This is a 5.3 acre place. The place in town is 1.25 acres. I have less than an acre planted under here, and the place in town probably, I'd say maybe 1/8 of an acre.
And that's including like the orchard and the strawberries and everything?
Down at the pond. I lost my potato patch because it's all the weeds now because of all these people coming, so I've got to try to recover it. And I'm really anxious to get my potato bed back because I had an interesting experience this year. See, I've been growing my potatoes in town because I lost this one, and because I've never had to water these potatoes here, I haven't watered the ones in town. And the greens are, the foliage is green all summer, but because it rains, it's so much, because this is sub-irrigated, that's not, I had a really small potato crop this year. And I'm getting, man, like potatoes love water, and this sub-irrigation is huge. It's like such an advantage, so I'm going to be getting that cleaned up and getting my potato back because I miss it. This isn't, that one in town is not doing what this did.
Now, what happened with this potato bed?
When that film came out, I just got overwhelmed with calls that were coming, and I could not attend to it, and it totally got overtaken with weeds. I mean, they're huge, they're gorgeous down there. It's like, and I've got to get down there. I'm going to do it this winter, get it all cleaned out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to weed everything down to the ground and bury it with wood chips and let it all become compost. But I was not able to, plant potatoes.
So was it that you didn't replant, or that the weeds over?
The weeds totally took over.
So it took all the nutrients or something?
Just buried. I mean, look,
just buried them.
Because it's such rich ground, they're huge. I mean, they're like overwhelmingly tall. They're just, because it's sub-irrigated, the ground's rich, and they says we can grow here. And in the past I used to, maintain it, but I just couldn't keep up with all this influence, all this stuff happening, so I just lost that space, which was, I feel sad, but it's taught me a lot. I'm starting to realize, like, wow, sub-irrigation is huge, and like, even though the ground's good over there, and the plants look good, the potatoes love water. So I always tell people on these films, if you have a low wet spot, that's where you plant potatoes, because potatoes really require a lot of moisture. And I really had a major revelation this year. And next year, if I don't get this one back, I'm going to certainly water the ones in town, because, man, I miss my good potato crop. I had a lot less volume this year. And I'm not as big. They used to be huge. Now they're just small because it just didn't get the water.